Hi guys, I'm Sam.
And I'm Nate.
And welcome to our garage where Nathan's already been sanding. We're back at it again, and chassis out here and body's in there. Nathan's cutting a template.
I hope that fits.
We don't want the entire thing to fit through there. We just want just this edge to show, and we want it flush on that edge.
Yeah,
so I think we need to remake that. But anyway, we're going to be drilling that hole on our fiberglass so that we can mount our filler underneath on our body so that we can fill up our fuel tank.
How come we don't use the compass to draw on that thing then?
Because I want to make certain that we have a good size hole before we go cutting holes in fiberglass.
That's a kind of circle. That's
a kind of circle. Well, you kind of need work on your circles.
Yeah.
So let's work on that and show you what we come up with. Now we can mark our body.
Yeah, it's together. And cut off one there. So it's kind of smaller.
You don't say. Well, we certainly can't make a hole bigger when we have the body in there, can we? Alright. So somewhere in that general vicinity is where we're going to be. Alright, now we can get this hood off again. Hood, get out of here.
So we need to just knock that old fuel filler out of the way?
Yep.
So are we just going to weld in another piece there?
We'll probably have to do a weld and a patch panel here. Yeah. I've never done patch panels this way, but there's a guy I watch occasionally on YouTube, kind of like you guys are doing now, that is really, really good at metal fabrication. And he actually will just make a panel, weld it in place, and then cut out the piece underneath as he's going. So I'm going to give that a try and see how it works. Alright, so now that I've got this thing kind of laid out in place, and this is a piece of German steel. This was originally one of the front fenders. It's got a little bubble in it and bow, but it's going to be under the fiberglass anyway, not a big deal. Now what I'm going to do is come in with my angle grinder and cut in this bottom edge at an angle, and as I do I can come back and then weld up that gap. Let's give this a whirl, see how she goes. Maybe that tack right there might be a little bit too hard out of place. We shall see.
Nice.
Smells nice. Good.
All good?
Getting there. That's the last edge here, and then we have a patch panel made. And our fuel door will be missing. That fuel door is a little more stuck than I'd like, but I'm sure I'll get it. Fuel door. Out. Patch panel in. Nate.
Yeah.
Want a fuel door?
No.
Alright. Well, good, because you ain't got one.
You mean to go over that? Oh yeah, also, can we keep that black?
Keep what black?
The fuel filler?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Now I can just go through and weld up all that gap. One perfectly cut patch panel.
Oh wow, perfect, huh? It's like the 67, huh?
That just looks horrible. Let me get my flap wheel and clean this stuff up a little bit so I can see really where I'm at. Is it perfect? No. Will it do? Absolutely. If this was a full-bodied sedan where we would see this quarter panel, that would not do. But this is an off-road car where this is going to be covered with fiberglass. I'll probably give it a very thin coat of filler when we actually do the body work. This is going to get painted body color, even though it's going to get covered up. But we don't want it to look like that, and we can do better, so we will. But I'm not concerned with this thing being perfectly body arrow straight. That's why I wasn't too concerned with warping and whatnot. We'll beat it out with a hammer. Show you guys that side. Just quick touch up with a grinder and smooth enough. especially for a Baja bug. All right, let me see if I can find Nathan, and we'll get back to work. I got the whole front end bolted on just to get that marked so we can pull it off again. But while we have it there, I might as well drill a hole. You know what? We can actually
just leave it on.
Leave it on
until we put the thing in.
For the most part.
Perfect.
All right, fits.
Yep.
Bolted in. All right.
Just gonna stick it out a little bit.
I wonder if my jigsaw has a metal blade or not.
Oh yeah. That's honestly what I was thinking about.
Yeah, that blade is.
Yeah.
That way it's not.
Get the body off or get the front end off?
Get the front end.
Yeah. Taking the body off is not gonna do it.
I lost that bottom bolt.
Oh, there's a crack in my windshield.
There's a couple of cracks in your windshield. There's a crack in your butt, Nathan.
Perfect.
Let's get the blade back in.
Now it's gonna work.
Probably not, but yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Make sure the passages are all plugged up this thing.
There we go. All right. How are we looking now?
I got the corner wheel.
Not quite there, but closer. I mean, it's literally just right on that edge. Boom, Nathan. How's that?
It works.
It's in.
Oh wow, yeah.
Nathan, put the front end on.
Oh, that was my front end. Yeah, that's more like it. Yeah, look at that, huh?
I like that. What do you think?
Yeah, that looks pretty good. Now we just gotta paint it. I mean, that shows you how far this goes, huh? We need.
I'm gonna try and bang it out a little bit, but at the end of the day, I ain't good at that.
You're not really scratching it.
Flush mount, or I believe the proper term is Frenched in, but we ain't French. We're American. This is America. Try and get the inner fender well to pop out that way just a touch. Right there, because we got a pretty decent gap there, but whatever. All right, now that we have this in place, we need to work on being able to connect this to our fuel tank. Now, I already have gone through and flushed out our fuel tank because we did actually have fuel in it at one point. It's been flushed out and aired out. Now I've got to go get a filler that I can weld into it that we can connect to this. I think that should be leak free, but I'll go fill it up with water and we'll find out. All right, for the most part, it's pretty good. Now we got a little bit of a seep right there, and that would be about it. So I'm going to grind that down and then come in and re-weld that. This is where I first started with the welding, and I didn't like how little penetration I was getting, so I cranked up the voltage a little bit after that. So I'll take care of that real quick. Yep, just right at that bottom edge. Let's hit that real quick with the welder. No water drips nowhere. Is it the prettiest thing? No. But it's effective. I'll just touch it up with the grinder, make it a little prettier, but other than that, it's not leaking. That's the most important part. I've welded up virtually all of our body molding holes. Well, I can't say virtually all the body molding holes. All the holes in our rear luggage tray from when we broke off the engine brace or the engine firewall piece, that's all welded up. You can't see underneath here, but I got that welded up. I got some of the holes in this fender well welded up. And obviously, of course, the big thing, we have our fuel filler in here. Now the body's not sitting in place, so that's not going to be perfectly flush, but we now have a fuel filler here. I need to get a hose and extension down to our gas tank there, but I want to get the majority of this front end cut back to the point where I can put a bulkhead on the front for our fuel tank and cut away all the rest. Other than that, Nathan, you need to do a lot of sanding when you're not making 3D prints of your parts. So Nathan's been working on getting more engine block-off plates made and ready to ship out for some customers that have ordered them. He actually took his money from his first few orders and bought a second printer so that he can have 2 printers going so he can double his production. So it's very smart on his case to get those things rocking and rolling. So he's been working on that today while I've been working on this. So started playing when I got home tonight and did that. And I haven't really been filming because I just picked up the grinder and the Sawzall and started working. I do that sometimes when I'm bored. But I've got our front end bobbed. And the important part is when I get this piece of metal cut here, we will be able to have essentially a full trunk. I actually also rolled up this edge of our hood seal piece to give us a straight lip, and I'll continue that straight lip across the top of this piece of metal here and across this piece of metal here, and then I'll actually be able to put a piece of snap-on trim right here, perhaps with a seal across the top edge. Anything we put in the trunk is going to be in waterproof containers, or it's going to be weatherproof stuff, but anything we can do to keep more dust and debris and stuff out of the front, the better. Yeah, we're just going to keep on playing with this, and we'll show you what we got at the end. Kind of what we got started off here.
Yeah.
Just sitting there in that box edge, and we'll do the same thing on this side over here. It'll come in the inside. Just got that piece shaped in. We can just come in and do some spot welds on the inside edges, and that will be relatively sealed up.
Maybe use some of the seam sealer.
What do you think about that?
Yeah.
Looks a little better than those big old dangly pieces hanging out the front?
Yeah.
Does it look like it's a crazy flat-nosed pug? No? All right. All right, well, I got to do what I did to that side. I'm just going to cut the bottom straight across here to the other side, up and over. And so this will just be basically a front flat face on the front of this car. And of course, hopefully, we can still just barely get into the top edge right there to get our bolts in. But I think we should be good to go.
Yeah, but we're still going to have the front end on, so you're not even going to see any of this anyway.
Yeah, exactly. All right, the moment of truth is, yes, you can get the gas tank tab down in place with the help of a magnet and a long extension. It's just held in place with a couple of vice grips and some clamps at the bottom, but there we go.
It works.
That will weld in the side of those to support our front beam supports, which hold up the fuel tank, or the front edge of the fuel tank. Weld those across both sides. I'll just use some Forehead Saber 1000s across the bottom of that. That is just going to be an open edge. I'm not too concerned about it. It's at the bottom and what you're going to do. With that, in about 2 hours, I've turned the front of this Baja bug into a flat nose Baja bug. You like it?
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be under the front end anyway. So
you're not going to see any of this, of course. Yeah, you're not going to see any of this, but I guess let's pull that bracket out real quick.
Easily and peasily, of course. So easily that even a magnet can do it. Maybe.
Boom. There we go.
Proof.
All right, pull the tank out. Here we go.
Yeah.
So it's just folded edge here, and a folded edge there. And then this panel comes in this way and then rolls flat that way. I'll weld up that seam, create an L, and we'll weld a piece across that, and we'll take the sealant and seal it up.
And perfect.
And then we've got one piece front end Baja trunk.
I mean, it's not like we're even going to really put much of anything in it.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of just, tools and whatnots that will be nice to have, but you're not going to need to get to them every day.
Yeah.
Yeah. Jack, tools, etc. That can sit up here.
Yeah, just because it's so freaking hard to get it on and off.
Yeah. Ooh, maybe a spare tire?
Well, is this important for the car?
That is the most important piece of this car ever.
Yeah, without this piece, you can't run it.
We cannot finish this
run
car.
Or drive.
We might as well just throw the car in the trash if we lose that.
Yeah.
All right, on that note, we're going to wrap it up for the night. I'm going to go take a shower and go have some homemade chili. Later. I am by no means an expert in any of this.
It's only your, second time doing this?
Yeah.
Started back there?
First time being right there.
Yeah,
And
on this car.
so I'm learning as I go.
Hey, look, we're fixing that spot right there, and back there too. Hey, look, two thingy things. It looks like if you hit somebody with that, it would hurt a lot. Wow, look at that. Oh, there's a hole in my car. There's a hole in my car now.
Apparently I put too much heat in that one.
Yeah.
Well, I can weld that up.
Yeah, with the other welder, not the
stud welder.
Not that guy. The Chicago Electric. Welding, dent repair, and stud welder. Nice. Honestly, that might not be very fun. Well, at least there's not much of a dent left. We got most of it. Just pull this one. Wow. Just need one more right there.
Yep.
And then we should have it. Wow.
Better than she was.
My car is looking more undented. Well, better than it was.
Could be better, yeah. But
yeah,
guess what?
That's what filler's made for.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And at least now we have a nice even gap there, and we don't have a big crease right there. Thin coat of skimmer right there, and lots of sanding.
Yeah.
But first, we're going to make a new intake manifold for Nathan's bicycle project. And this new fancy VZ something.
PZ20.
PZ20 carburetor.
Yeah.
Okay. We're putting that
on a little 49 two-stroke.
49cc two-stroke bicycle that you got off the side of the road.
Yeah. I mean, I got the bicycle, the engine, everything off of Amazon. Sadly, my favorite motorcycle engine kit brand stopped making them, and now they're doing electric stuff.
Stupid electric.
I know.
How can we go bing, 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 bing?
PZ20! Oh yeah, I don't have the truck still.
All right, guys, a new day, Saturday the 15th.
I think so.
Yeah. And it's body work and sanding time. So we're going to spend the next couple of days, next couple of nights, as time allows, getting this thing all ready for body work, minimal body work. Obviously, we did get that popped out. Going to get a thin coat of filler on this guy here and this guy here. All our body molding holes. And then for the most part, it's going to be very minimal on the body work, but just enough to make it decent, but not perfect. So today, the mission is mud.
Yeah.
Mud being body filler. Just going to go through, do our couple spots of Bondo filler. We're going to call it Bondo. We're actually using U-Pole lightweight gold, some good body filler. So we'll just do our couple spots here, 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 here. We're just going to feel out our panels. Anything that sticks out by hand, we're going to go ahead and mark and do some filler on. And it's just going to be a quick job. We're not going for near perfect reflections in this paint. Being a light color like orange, it's going to hide a lot of stuff anyway, so we should be good. But yeah, that's what we're going to do today. Show you some of the stuff we picked up yesterday. So filler, U-Pole, lightweight gold, lightweight filler, easy to sand, non-sagging, pinhole resistant, direct to metal. So we're going to do some of that. For primer, we're using 50 states legal acrylic lacquer primer in gray. We're going to mix that 1-to-1 with some lacquer thinner. Economy lacquer thinner. For our bare metal spots, once we're done with body work, before laying down our primer, we're going to use some self-etching primer. For all of our fender wells and trunk and rear firewall, we're going to do black paintable undercoating. This stuff's really good. I use this on my Super Beetle. For work on our front end, we're going to go with some Evercoat kitty hair long strand fiberglass. So that will help fill in all of our holes and do some repairs on our front end. We've got respirators. Any last minute stuff after primer, we've got some glazing putty, grease and wax remover, and tack cloths.
And of course more acetone.
And more acetone. This is some of the stuff. All totaled here was how much, Nathan?
Around 500.
But yeah, that's including our respirators, because I didn't have any proper respirators when we're shooting paint. So we spent more on all this stuff here than we did on our paint. Yeah. And we went on a shopping spree, but that's actually kind of just goes to show, for any paint job, it's not the paint that makes the car look good. It's all the prep work before the paint. As I was explaining to Nathan yesterday, you can take the best paint in the world and paint it over shoddy body work, and that paint's going to look like garbage. But along the same lines, you can take some junky paint.
Not necessarily junky paint.
Well, it's just not the best paint in the world. But if you paint that over good body work,
it's going to look pretty good.
So that's kind of the route we're going for. Again, we're not going for mirror straight panels here, but we're going to do a pretty decent job, I hope.
Yeah.
So we're gonna get to work on that. All right, nothing fancy, just some grease and wax remover, old clean rag, cleanish enough anyway. This is all pre-body work stuff anyway, so just wiping down the car from top to bottom, get all that dust from sanding off of the car before we lay down some filler. I haven't wiped the back yet. Now Nathan's gonna finish drying it off while I mix up some mud. Woo! Good stuff. Now you can smell that stuff from a mile away. I am by no means a bodywork professional, but I can work it. My blue Super Beetle, if you guys aren't familiar with our channel or haven't been watching for a long time, I did all the body work on that car myself, and that car was aero straight and
On a cover mag.
so I figured it was decent enough for them. I figured I can kind of fake it till I make it when it comes to body work. All right, that should be good for. So now we had a couple small spots inside this door jamb I wasn't really happy with, and I'm not looking to get perfection in the first coat. All right, Nathan, your first foray into body work.
Yeah.
Now that our Bondo is for the most part tacked up, let's clean off the edges. Now, on these, you don't want to just pick an edge and go. You want to take the whole panel in full and just let the sandpaper do the work.
So just...
I would, no, you don't go in lines. You go with the curve. So, if you go like this, you're going to end up with a groove right there.
Yeah.
So you just want to go, if you're going to do anything, go like that, and just let the sandpaper do the work. That's mainly why I did that quarter, just so you can do that. Also, you can knock some of the edges right here. You got that, those thick edges. Do that, no? And you guys, so you can see what 40 grit looks like.
It's pretty rough.
It's got some heavy, heavy grit. 40 grit is very, very tough. But yeah, we're just trying to just give a general shape to this. And most of this will probably end up on the ground, and that's fine. Okay, so we're revealing that low spot right there. Everything else is just getting knocked down. This is going to be a huge low spot right there as well, but
Yeah, it's pretty good. It's good enough for now. Can't
Yeah.
get much more down.
all right. Get the air blower nozzle and kind of blow out some of that stuff. Anyway, you guys see how it goes. We're going to keep doing this for most of the day until we get all this feathered out with probably 220. Once we get everything at 220, then we'll hit the whole car with 220, and then it'll be time for first couple coats of primer.
And then the car will be one color. And that's when you want to sell a car.
Ready for paint. Just kidding, we're gonna keep going. The majority of our body work is all done. We're each gonna attack a side with self-etching primer, get all the bare metal, and with that, we're gonna roll the car into our paint booth.
Which is just our side yard.
And we're gonna start shooting some primer on this thing.
Yeah, like legit primer.
Legit primer.
And then it's all gonna be gray and not
gray
full
instead
blue.
of blue and white and
white.
metal and yeah. So we're gonna head to that.
Others.
And just like that, we're shooting primer. This will tell us where all of our highs and all of our lows, and it'll fill in scratches and it'll reveal scratches, but this is a good starting point. Getting the car all one color. Nice. We're gonna keep on doing this for a while. We'll be back later. That is my first time using lacquer-based primer. I have always used water-based primer and have always had good luck with it. This doesn't build quite as thickly as that waterborne primer, so we've got a lot of coats on here. We're going to go through and we're going to block this out, or at least sand it down with blocks. Probably 320. That will reveal any other imperfections and scratches and everything else. And from there, we'll touch it up with some more primer, and then she's ready for paint. So with that, Nathan, what do you think?
I think it looks awesome. Like, it's finally all mostly one color.
One color bug. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
So with that, I'm Sam,
And I'm Nate.
and thanks for watching. Life's full of good people.
If you can't find one,
Be one. Later, guys.